I think it's been widely established that attention is a better proxy for media quality than viewability. And it's a little bit surprising that it's 2025 and we're still having this conversation about like, should I be optimizing my campaigns towards 70% viewability? What we've found is that very consistently when advertisers use attention metrics like AU to measure and optimize their campaigns, they're able to drive much more efficient incremental outcomes. That's been proven very consistently by us and other people in the field. So there's very little question that the industry has moved on, or at least let's say like the leaders in the industry and the early adopters in the industry, and even like sort of the mid and later adopters now are using attention metrics to get a better understanding of their media quality.
And so with that idea, in terms of getting that better sense of media quality, what is it about, it seems obvious, but what is it about attention that really does move the needle for brands?
So you can use attention for a lot of things. There's people that are focused on creative and how much attention is creative getting. There's some people that are thinking about attentive audiences or less attentive audiences. But at Adelaide, we're thinking about how do you use attention metrics to better understand the quality of media. And when you think about viewability, it's pretty much just like 50% on screen for 1 second, which is, it's sort of like, it's a very obvious or it creates a very obvious outcome from the incentive, which is small ads on big screens that end up not capturing a lot of attention. So viewability was a really good first attempt at this. And what attention metrics used, when they're used to measure media quality, what it allows advertisers to do is go beyond viewability and understand what placements are more likely to capture attention, what placements are less likely to capture attention, so they can look for bargains in the market and they can find like, oh, what are these placements that are undervalued by the market but are actually capturing a lot of attention, and what are placements that are overvalued by the market, not actually capturing that much attention, and they can adjust their buying strategies based on that new information.
Wanted to talk a little bit about the work that you're doing with United Airlines Commerce Media Network Connective Media, and wanted to talk about specifically the passenger/customer experience. The flight's over, we all kind of feel this way, we're immediately checking our phones, we're checking email. How can brands use what they learn about passenger attention during flights to continue that relationship once people have landed and continue connecting those engagement dots?
So I think one of the most interesting things that United Connective is doing is using our data to sort of better communicate to the market about the quality of IFE entertainment and the opportunity for advertisers to reach their audiences through that new channel. But then they're also using our data to ensure that those further touch points, so on their phones, on the web, on CTV, are also super high quality. So AU enables United to deliver a high quality attentive experience no matter what channel they're reaching their audience on.
So just to drill down a little bit further on the opportunities from in-flight to post-flight, how can brands, what should brands be thinking about when they have this captive audience on a plane, they've got their airplane mode on? What should they be thinking about really is there a real difference between the attention that they have in flight when they're kind of a captive audience to when they're out in between getting their Uber or Lyft onto their hotel elsewhere? What should brands be thinking about those two different experiences of those passengers?
I think that's a great name for the ad format, right? Like airplane mode. So like really high attention, there's not a lot of distractions. So I think that brands should try to experiment with new channels and try to use attention data to figure out what are the placements within those channels where they're more likely to capture the attention of their audiences. At Adelaide, we don't think too much around user identity or around sort of like targeting people in different places. We just try to help our partners make sure that they're targeting those audiences through the highest quality media possible.
And you've talked a lot about the nature of powering these high quality omni-channel campaigns with Connective, and obviously, other partners and clients. What are the factors you take into account in terms of, ensuring that this is an omni-channel, benefit? Is it not just sort of, the person on their phone paying attention in flight and then maybe off flight? What's the nature of the omni-channel experience that you're powering?
Yeah, so Adelaide, or AU, the metric that we make, measures about 95 to 97% of a typical advertiser spend. And this is one of the main advantages of AU, is that it's applicable across most of an advertiser's spend. and it allows them to understand apples for apples, like what is the quality that they're achieving on various channels. And so that's one of the reasons we're so excited to launch with United Connective, because we're bringing AU to yet another channel where advertisers can leverage it to ensure that they're reaching their audience through the highest quality placements possible.
So looking more widely again at measurement generally, how should marketers be thinking about attribution and outcomes that extend beyond the customer experience? How do you define that sense?
Yeah, so outcomes they're incredibly important. I mean, it's the reason that we do advertising, right, to drive business outcomes. But there's a fine line to toe, because as an advertiser, you don't want to hold the supply chain accountable to outcomes. You want to make sure that the media you're buying from them is high quality. Driving the outcome, or combining the audience and the creative and the media, and then all of the things that happen in marketing beyond the impression, are the responsibility of the marketer. And so I think that marketers need to be, there should be a conversation around outcomes, but you shouldn't really be holding your counterparties accountable to outcomes. You should hold your media counterparties accountable to the quality of the media that they're providing to you.